Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. What we're going to be doing today is tapping into the No King's Day rally. That's right. We're going to be listening to the No King's Day rally. It's been ongoing thus far. So we're just going to listen and see what they're saying about they don't want a king and what you have to say. So as you enter into the stream, just be mindful to respect one another as you voice your opinions about this rally today taking place at No King's Day. And also make sure that you respect the host or you will get a one-way ticket to the block party, okay? We have an open dialogue here, so welcome one and all. Hello, welcome in, Drip King. How are you doing this morning? Okay, so you're doing good. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, so as everyone starts to come into the building, make sure as you enter the building, you go ahead and get the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, okay? And participate in the chat so that we can get this conversation underway. We're going to be listening into No King's Day. It's the rally going on right now. Once again, we're just listening in. These are not my thoughts or my ideals, and I'll speak on any subject that comes across the platform that they're having different people come on and express themselves regarding No King's Day. So like I said, get the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And once again, I am, if I haven't said it, your host, Ethereum.
Project at work. What we have seen over the last 10 months is that every single time they attack us, if we respond, we grow stronger. Every time they attack us, we grow more united, we grow our people, and we grow our resolve, and we learn what it takes to take them down. We're building unity, we're building power, and we are going to demand full power over our local money, our DC National Guard, our local laws, and ultimately, yes, we will be admitted as the 51st state of the United States of America. It is not going to be Canada, it's not going to be Greenland, it's going to be DC. And our entire national democracy will always be at risk until that happens, until we actually protect the capital of this country. And that means that everyone across this country needs a free DC. From Ward 1 to Ward 8, from Los Angeles to Chicago, from Memphis to Portland, we are more united now than we have ever been. We are united against deploying the military against our people. We are united against attacks on our democracy, and we are united against this agenda of cruelty that we are seeing unfold before our eyes. Together, we, the people here today, and all our friends we organize, we're going to bring it to an end. Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC!
Washington, D.C., please welcome to the stage Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin, co-founders of Indivisible.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. I'm Leah.
Hey, I'm Leah's husband.
And we're the co-founders of Indivisible. We support a movement of thousands of local indivisible groups organizing in every state of the country. These are regular people who understand that saving our democracy is too important to be left to the politicians, and it's going to take all of us.
Leah Greenberg, everybody. My God. Look, Leah is my spouse. She's my partner. She's the co-executive director of Indivisible. She's the real strategic brains behind Indivisible. We are indebted to her for her strategic vision. I'm biased, but I think we all agree. Look, I'm just here to tell a story. And I think it's important for us to tell the story of these First Amendment rights that Leah is talking about. And this story I want to tell is about the first No Kings Day. Who here was at the first No Kings Day? Whoa. No. I don't think y'all were there. This was a quarter of a millennia ago. This was 250 years ago, 1775. They called it the Continental Congress. They didn't have the branding we did. But it was the first No Kings Day protest. What they did, they brought themselves together in opposition to this would-be monarchical ruler who was steamrolling the American public. He was occupying and invading American cities. He was terrorizing American communities. He was picking out his favorites and persecuting his political enemies. He didn't believe in democracy at all. Can you imagine? Can you imagine such a ruler over America? It was bleak. It was bleak. So what did our fellow Americans do? They put together a No Kings rally to give us a constitution. That's what they did. That's our history. Whose history? Whose history? Whose history? Look, this is a big experiment in self-government. A government of, by, and for the people. Nobody here is under the illusion that this was a perfect union. That's not what we created. This was a compromise of rich men, of white men, of slaveholding men. But this imperfect union that they put together, it also gave us some fundamental rights to make it more perfect. Who has been using those rights? The abolitionists, the suffragists, the heroes of the civil rights movement, the leaders in Stonewall, the leaders in the Dreamer movement.
All right, as we go through these commercials, go ahead and get the thumbs up, participate. We are tapped into No Kings Day, which is happening right now. It is a rally, a protest. If you have any opinions regarding No Kings Day or the speakers that are gracing the stage, go ahead, feel free to put your comments into the chat. If something hits a nerve, go ahead, as long as it's respectful, no profanity. But yeah, go ahead and put your comments down and participate by getting a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel today. We are ear hustling to No Kings Day. It's going on right now, and people are agitated, irritated, upset, and more regarding they do not want a king. They do not want to have Donald Trump represent them as a king. This is what I'm picking up thus far. Once again, my name is Ethereal, and I am your host, and we are tapping into No Kings Day.
The billionaires. Who's braver than the billionaires? Who's braver than the billionaires? This is my favorite part, folks. I get to name some names. Jeff Bezos, who took a respected pro-democracy institution that had the slogan of democracy dies in the darkness, and he turned the slogan into corruption, capitulation, cowardice, shame. Mark Benioff, y'all see this guy in the news, the head of Salesforce, who's welcoming troops into San Francisco? This guy who is begging to give artificial intelligence to ICE to triple their size? Shame. Daniel Ek, you don't know who Daniel Ek is, do you? The CEO of Spotify, which right now is robbing for musicians and running ads to recruit for a secret police force that terrorizes our communities. Mark Zuckerberg, end of story. Need I say more? But we're not just booing, y'all. We're not just booing. We're organizing. This is a movement of everyone in this country who is taking a side. We are taking a side. It is a time to choose that side. Are you on the side of the MAGA forces, of the Nazis, of the billionaires? Hell no. So I ask businesses, universities, churches, which side are you on? We're on the people's side. Which side? Look, nobody on this stage has told you there's no need to have fear. We see what this regime is doing. We see them rattling the sabers. We see them sending troops into communities. We see them zip-tying children and dragging them out of apartments. We see this. This movement, the 200,000 of us here, this movement it's not a fearless movement, it's better than that. It's a brave movement. The other side wants to suppress dissent, chill free speech, and come after their opponents. We're not here because we're fearless. We're here because we're better than fear. We're braver than billionaires, and we're bigger than ever before. We're going to win this bill because we believe, as all Americans believe, we don't do kings here. How many kings? How many kings? Now, we had a little bit of extra time in the program, and a guy in Vermont with some ideas about this wanted to come on. Let's have fun.
All right, guys, we're listening to No King's Day. We're just ear hustling. So as they have their protests going on across Washington, they're saying they don't want any kings. And when they say they don't want any kings, they're referring to Donald Trump. As you come in the building, go ahead and get the thumbs up. Participate so the message can get out here. You are free to put your comments in the chat. If you hear something that you might not agree with, or you might agree with some words that are being spoken from the podium, feel free to go ahead and comment. As long as you're respectful to one another in the chat and respectful to the host, that would be me. I am your host, Ethereal. So go ahead, get the conversation going, or you can just sit back and ear hustle. But make sure you double tap that screen. Double tap. Or if you're watching from your PC, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, okay? And subscribe to the channel today. Over here, we're building a community where we have people that use their mind, critical thinking, and are able to express themselves. And sometimes we can just agree to disagree on topics, but we do allow freedom of speech, okay? So right now they're having a little intermission, and let me see, they're playing some music, so I kind of turned it down.
Here we go.
Here they go.
The senior senator,
So go ahead, subscribe to the channel today.
the Honorable Bernie Sanders.
Thank you, Washington. Thank you, indivisible. Thank you to the millions of Americans from our smallest towns to our largest cities in every state in our country who words. They demanded freedom. And to bring that about, they fought a bloody war against the British Empire and the most powerful military in the world. Tens of thousands of Americans died in that 8-year war, but our forefathers fought on and they won. And in 1789, after winning that war, they did something extraordinary. They established the first democratic form of government in modern history. They said loudly, boldly to the entire world, no more kings. In America, they said, we, the people, will rule. And today, in the year 2025, in this dangerous moment in American history, our message is exactly the same. No, President Trump, we don't want you or any other king to rule us. Thank you very much, but we will maintain our democratic form of society. We will not move toward authoritarianism in America. We, the people, will rule. When he was sworn in as the nation's first president, George Washington called this attempt at self-government, quote, an experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people, end quote. My fellow Americans, in an unprecedented way, that experiment is now in danger. It is in danger when we have a president who wants more and more power in his own hands and in the hands of his fellow oligarchs. It is in danger when we have a president who claims that peaceful protests in Portland, Oregon, or Chicago, Illinois, is an insurrection and calls in the U.S. military. And then threatens to arrest the mayors and governors who resist them. It is in danger when we have masked agents working for ICE, breaking down doors, throwing people into vans without due process, and taking them to God knows where. It is in danger when we have a president who sues and intimidates the media, who wants no criticism of him and his policies, and who undermines the First Amendment of our Constitution, the very foundation of American democracy. Our country is in danger when we have a president who threatens to arrest or imprison political opponents who stand against them, including the Attorney General of New York State, a sitting U.S. Senator, and the Governor of California. It is in danger when we have a president who undermines freedom of thought and dissent at our colleges and universities. thousands of federal employees right here in Washington, D.C. throughout our country and rips up union contracts that workers have fought for and won. It is in danger when we have a president who grossly violates the Constitution by accepting gifts from foreign leaders, including a $400 million plane from the royal family of Qatar, and then allows that family to build an Air Force facility in Idaho. Let us be clear. This moment is not just about one man's greed, one man's corruption, or one man's contempt for the Constitution. This is about a handful of the wealthiest people on earth who, in their insatiable greed, have hijacked our economy and our political system in order to enrich themselves at the expense of working families throughout this country. Yes, I am talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and the other multi-billionaires who were sitting right behind Trump when he was inaugurated. Remember that? The very same billionaires who funded his campaign, who have bestowed gifts upon him, and who have seen huge increases in their wealth and power since Trump took office. Yes, I am talking about the insanity of one person, Mr. Musk, owning more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. I'm talking about the incredible injustice of the top 1% in America now owning more wealth than the bottom 93%. I'm talking about the richest people in America becoming much, much richer, while 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck, struggling every day to pay their rent and mortgages, pay for child care and education, pay for their health care and prescription drugs, afford decent quality food for their kids, and maybe, just maybe, put aside a few bucks for their retirements. I am talking about our nation, the richest country in the history of the world, having the highest rate of childhood and senior poverty of almost any major country on earth. I am talking about our great nation, having 85 million Americans uninsured or underinsured, and 800,000 people who are homeless, including people a few blocks from here. All the while Mr. Musk is on his way to becoming a trillionaire. I'm talking about the incredible danger of the richest people in this country pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into artificial intelligence and robotics, which in the next decade will decimate tens of millions of jobs for the American working class. I'm talking about a billionaire class who believe that they have the divine right to rule, and who not only want massive tax breaks for themselves, but who reject
form of accountability or checks on their power. My fellow Americans, we rejected the divine right of kings in the 1770s. We will not accept the divine right of oligarchs today. And now let's take a brief look at where we are today. Where we are today on the 18th day of a government shutdown, which is depriving millions of federal employees of the paychecks they desperately need and deserve. Let me cut to the chase and tell you exactly what this shutdown is all about. As a result of Trump's big, beautiful, disgraceful bill, which made massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, 15 million low-income and working-class Americans are going to lose the health care they desperately need to stay alive. My friends, studies suggest that when you throw those 15 million people off of the health care they presently have, 50,000 of them will die unnecessarily every single year. 50,000 Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. But that's not all. As a result of that same terrible piece of legislation, over 20 million Americans are going to see on average a doubling of their health insurance premiums through the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont, just the other day, people received notices from insurance companies that their health care premiums in some cases would triple or quadruple. And that is going on all over the country. At a time when we already pay, by far, the highest prices in the world for health care, millions of Americans are going to see outrageous increases in their health care premiums, which they cannot afford. Why is that happening? Why are the Republicans making a broken healthcare system, a dysfunctional healthcare system, even worse? Why are they bringing our healthcare system to the verge of collapse? We all know the answer. We all know the answer. It was to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, Mr. Zuckerberg, Miss Allison, and the rest of the 1%. $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid and the ACA, $1 trillion in tax breaks for the 1%. That, my fellow Americans, is what this shutdown is all about. And let me be as clear as I can be. No, I will not vote for a budget that throws 15 million Americans off their health care. No, I will not vote for a budget that doubles premiums for 20 million Americans. No, I will not vote for a budget that forces nursing homes, rural hospitals, community health centers to lay off staff and close their doors throughout this country. All to give huge tax breaks to the billion
Yes, we can build millions of units of low-income and affordable housing and allow our younger generation to enjoy the American dream and own a home of their own. Yes, we can make public colleges and universities tuition-free and have the best child care and public school system in the entire world. Yes, we can expand Social Security so that every senior in our country can retire with dignity. Yes, we can raise the minimum wage to a living wage and guarantee every worker the right to join a union. Yes, we can lead the world in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuels and create millions of good jobs as we save the planet. Yes, we can guarantee that every woman in this country has the right to control her own body. Yes, we can have a foreign policy that guarantees that never again will American taxpayer dollars be used to starve children in Gaza or anyplace else. Now let me raise a question that I've been asked over and over again. Bernie, great ideas, but how are you going to pay for them? Great question. Thanks for asking. And here is the answer. At a time when the wealthiest people in America have never, ever had it so good. At a time when billionaires are paying an effective tax rate lower than a truck driver or a nurse. Yes, the top 1% in large profitable corporations will pay their fair share in taxes. My fellow Americans, the establishment, including the corporate media and many of my colleagues in Congress, want you to believe that you are powerless. They want you to believe that you cannot change the status quo. But that is a lie. Throughout the history of our country, when Americans have stood up and fought for justice, they have prevailed. When the founders stood up to King George, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When abolitionists fought to end slavery, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When workers
All right. As the commercials play, go ahead and get the thumbs up. We are tapping into rallies across America. No King's Day. I'm going to let this play for a little longer, maybe 5 or so minutes. You can go ahead, get the thumbs up, tap the screen. It's going down across America. You're listening to Bernie Sanders.
brothers and sisters, they did it then, we can and will do it now. And how do I know
But it is not just here as I understand it today, October 18th, 2025, there are more people out on the streets in more communities all over our country than we have ever seen in American history. Brothers and sisters, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Together, when we stand united, when we don't allow Trump or anybody else to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or our sexual orientation, when we stand together, we will create the kind of nation that you and I know we can become. We can and will create a nation devoted to freedom, justice, and democracy. Thank you all very much.
All right, guys. So we've been tapped in listening to No King's Day. Many rallies across America. This one is taking place in Washington. You just got through listening to Bernie Sanders as he exited the stage. So feel free to tap in to No King's Day. I'm your host, Ethereal, and thanks for joining.